Chris Hemsworth Surprises His Fans. And what if the biggest movie celebrity in the world suddenly showed up in your ordinary day? Take no precautions. No cameras could be seen. There's no time to prepare. One moment you are just another member of the crowd, and the next you are standing squarely in front of the God of Thunder. Chris Hemsworth, a man known for playing heroes in movies. But what if his most powerful moments happened off camera? Today we're exploring some of Chris Hemsworth's most incredible, ethically pure, and simply shocking moments that startled his fans. And trust me, there are instances when these seem almost unreal. Chapter 1. The baseball game that changed everything. It started like any other day at a New York Mets game. Even though they were distant from the action, a father and daughter were happy to be in the nosebleed seats. Not much of note. Or so they thought. Behind the scenes, something was being planned. A quiet procedure. A surprise that would turn an ordinary game into a memorable experience. In a few minutes, everything had. Following that, he arrived. Chris Hemsworth, right in front of them. Take no precautions. No buildup. Just stunned. In response, the daughter expressed complete disbelief, joy, and a moment in time. Because occasionally, the surprises that you never anticipate are the finest. Chapter 2. The restaurant showdown you didn't expect. Imagine now that you are out for a typical meal and all of a sudden a Hollywood star is serving you. It seems impossible, doesn't it? Well, not when James Corden and Chris Hemsworth collaborate. The two engaged in a restaurant server battle in one of the funniest scenes ever. However, this was more than just humor. There was anarchy. They are vying for attention, trying to outdo each other in charm, comedy, and service, and trying to impress gullible guests. Chris then notices one visitor, a woman who was completely unaware of what was going to occur. He approaches, assured, easy, totally in charge. And all of a sudden, her typical dinner experience becomes something quite remarkable. Since Thor himself is serving you, there isn't a menu for it. Chapter 3. When live TV went completely off script. It is expected that live television will be predictable, under control, meticulously planned. However, occasionally, unexpected things slip through. In Australia, a reporter was performing her duties as usual during a typical weather program, discussing projections, maintaining professionalism, concentrated. After that, suddenly, Chris Hemsworth enters the frame with a nonchalant gait. No announcement, not a hint, just shows up. The reporter becomes motionless. The staff is at a loss on what to do. And for a second, live broadcasting turns into something wholly unpredictable. Because when a worldwide celebrity ruins your part, you no longer adhere to the script. Chapter 4. The movie theater that lost its mind. Imagine this. You're waiting to see Thor Ragnarok in a movie theater. The lights go down. Expectations are typical. Nothing out of the ordinary. However, what if? Rather than viewing the film, did the film come to you? The audience was abruptly drawn into something they could never have predicted. Chris Hemsworth, Hiddleston Tom, Ruffalo Mark. That's right, putting on a humorous, low-budget live production of the movie. In the moment, the audience was in disbelief. Because situations like this make it difficult to distinguish between fact and fantasy. And for those admirers, it was more than just a movie that evening. They would recount this tale for the rest of their lives. Chapter 5. The superfan who got the surprise of a lifetime. Meeting their favorite star is a dream for some fans. Others never assume that it will truly occur. Among them was Kathy, a diligent worker at Warner Bros., a huge fan of Chris Hemsworth. However, she was clueless that her typical workday was going to become remarkable. A plan was implemented with Ellen DeGeneres' assistance, calm and cautious, ideally timed. Chris enters covertly, nearer, nearer. After that, he enters through the door. Kathy's response, absolute shock, incredulity, happy. It was an unscriptable moment, because sometimes the greatest rewards arrive when you don't expect them. Chapter 6. When the prank became the surprise. Chris Hemsworth is used to surprising people. But this time, until one interaction, felt just a little off. A fan didn't want a selfie with him. Instead, they asked him to take a photo of them. Strange, but okay. Chris agrees. And then, the truth hits. It was a setup. A prank. Orchestrated by none other than Beast. For once, the god of thunder was the one caught off guard. And honestly, seeing that reaction made it even better. Chapter 7. From 0 to 70,000 people. Now this one is different. Not a quick surprise, not a prank. This took commitment. 2 full months. Chris Hemsworth decided to learn something completely new. Drumming. Chapter 8. The fan who risked everything. Not all surprises are planned. Some just happen. While filming Extraction in India, Chris experienced something intense. To get an autograph. It was dangerous, unpredictable, and honestly a little scary. But it also showed something deeper. The impact one person can have on millions. Because to that fan, this wasn't just a celebrity. This was someone worth risking everything for. Chapter 9. The most emotional surprise of all. Not every surprise is loud, or funny, or chaotic. Some are quiet, deep, personal. During a powerful moment reflecting on his future and fears, Chris was faced with something heavy. The possibility of memory loss, of forgetting the life he's built, the people he loves. And then came a surprise he never expected. His wife. Transformed through age makeup. Standing before him as a glimpse into the future. It wasn't funny. It wasn't lighthearted. It was real, emotional, human. And in that moment, Chris Hemsworth wasn't a superhero. He was just a man, facing something we all fear. Chapter 10. The heroes who showed up when it mattered most. And finally, the most meaningful surprises often happen far away from cameras. While filming Thor Ragnarok, Chris and Tom Hiddleston did something simple, but powerful. They visited a children's hospital, dressed as Thor and Loki, bringing smiles, laughter, and a little bit of magic to kids who needed it most. No spotlight, no performance, just presence. Because sometimes, being a hero has nothing to do with movies. So the next time you see Chris Hemsworth on screen, remember, the real magic might not be in the movies. It might be in the moments no one expects. Which surprise shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because you never know what story we're uncovering next.